Live on DAZN Worldwide, May 2nd and 3rd. A knockout weekend of boxing. Garcia versus Ramirez and Canelo versus Skull. 2 huge fights. Pick one or go all in for only $90. Exclusively on DAZN. Buy now at DAZN.com.
Marcus Hayes with Fight Hub TV in partnership with Undisputed, available now on PS5 and Xbox. Here with the Garcias, fresh off induction into the National Boxing Hall of Fame. Gentlemen, first off, congratulations on behalf of Fight Hub TV and the grateful nation that watches boxing. What are the emotions that you're feeling right now?
Look, this is awesome, man. You know, National Hall of Fame is great, you know, for what they're doing, you know, giving all this former trainers, champions, matchmakers, promoters, everything. It's great to give them that recognition. Look, everybody talks about the international, but man, we're in the United States. This is national.
Absolutely, right? Absolutely. You talked about it before, being a boxing family, traveling, not really getting a chance maybe to spend all the time that you want together. But this kind of puts that sacrifice into focus, does it not?
Look, it's a sport that, you know, we've missed birthdays, I've missed graduations. You know, this weekend I'm gonna miss my 2 grandsons' birthdays. You know, one of them is on the 2nd, and the other one is on the 3rd, and I'm gonna be in New York.
Happy birthday, boys!
You know, yeah. One of them is gonna be 6, and the other one's gonna be 2. So you know, I'm gonna miss that. You know, but it's part of the sport. The family understands the business. I've been with my wife for 32 years. My boys all grew up in the sport, so they all know the way boxing is. You know, my daughters, everybody, they understand that's not always going to be there, you know, but he's doing the best to provide and to do the best for them.
When we look at you guys, Fernando Vargas, Hall of Famer. Awesome. Mikey Garcia, right. Hall of Famer. Robert Garcia, Hall of Famer. Mr. Garcia, Hall of Famer. Lots of Hall of Fame work going on in this family, man. When you think about it, and this is questions for your dad, all the work that you've put in, all the sacrifice that you put in, all the meals that you've cooked and made sure that all these boys were straight. Now they've grown up to men. Here's your reward. How's that feel?
¿Cómo se siente de tanto sacrificio, tantos días y años de trabajo ahora que se ha generado esto con sus hijos, con el equipo?
No, pues me siento bien orgulloso, bien contento de lo que logré. Con mucho sacrificio, eso sí es cierto.
Very happy for everything that I've accomplished with, like you said, with a lot of sacrifice.
Me siento muy contento.
Very happy, very proud.
Outstanding. You talked about the fights in New York. We got coming up on a historic weekend in boxing. Yes. Huge fights across the world, coast to coast. Correct. I mean, just an amazing weekend. We'll start off with the fights out in New York. Barbosa, Teofimo Lopez, Ryan and Rolly finally getting together. And then we've got Ramirez and Devin Haney coming together. Who do you think has the toughest fight out of everybody?
Look, I think all fights could be tough for all 6 fighters fighting, but honestly, I have Jose Ramirez, and the way he's been training, the way he's been looking, I think Haney's gonna have the toughest fight. I think Haney has the toughest fight because, look, I love and respect the Haneys. They've always been nothing but respectful to me, and I give them respect for choosing Jose as an opponent. They could have picked anybody else. They could have went a little bit easier, but they want to test themselves. So they want to prove to the boxing world that Haney's still up there. You know, that Haney lost to, you know, the Haney that lost to Ryan still has it, and that's why they chose somebody tough, somebody like Jose. So I gotta respect them. But you know, when it comes to who has the toughest fight, I think all 3 fights are going to be unbelievable. I think all 3 fights are going to be awesome. But I would say Haney has the toughest fight.
How much of a battle is Devin Haney in for? We know that he likes to box. He likes to move. I've been in the gym with you and Jose Ramirez several times. Jose Ramirez has a gear that a lot of guys haven't seen, which is seek and destroy, come forward and just absolutely go after you. Sounds like that may be on the horizon for Devin Haney.
That's what we're going to show. That's what we're going to do in the fight. You know, I know people might be thinking Jose's last performance, you know, against Barbosa. Barbosa fought a great fight, a beautiful fight, and people might be thinking, maybe the Haneys might be thinking, oh, we could outbox him too. But I think this is going to be a total different Jose than what you guys seen against Barbosa.
When we talk about the matchup, A lot has been made about Devin Haney going down 3 times in his last fight, that his chin may be suspect. Of course, there was the Peds on board with Ryan, so it's kind of up in the air to see what's going on. But how quickly do you guys look to test Devin's chin on fight night?
Since the bell rings, since the first bell, we're gonna go. He's gonna be tested, and I know he's gonna put up a good fight too because I know he's in great shape. I know he's a tremendous athlete, 100%. I respect his dedication to the sport, and that's why I know it's gonna be, if not the best one, probably the best, one of the best fights of the night.
Let me ask you about another fight there. Do you feel like Teofimo Lopez may be underestimating Arnold Barboza a little bit?
Hopefully not. Hopefully not, because Arnold is on a mission. He's on a good streak. He's got some great wins behind him his last couple of fights, and Teofimo should not take it lightly because Arnold Barboza is coming to win.
And Rolly Romero rolling to that fight, no pun intended. Ryan Garcia, that left hook. How in God's name does Rolly Romero stay out the way of that left hook?
Look, anything can happen in the sport. Rolly hits hard too, and he's got heart. So it's gonna be an interesting fight. I do see Ryan pulling up the win and the knockout, but I wouldn't be surprised also if Ryan has trouble early in the fight and then gets frustrated and Rolly takes over after that. So I wouldn't be surprised because it's an interesting fight.
Provided that Rolly and Ryan both win, they're supposed to get together in October. Provided that Ryan and Devin both win, they're supposed to get together in October. What do you think happens if those two happen to cross paths again?
Look, I think we already seen the first fight, and I don't think it's a question where if both of them win. I think even if Devin is to lose to Jose, which that's my job, and that's what we're looking forward to. I think the people still want to see him fight Ryan. So it's not about them both having to win. I think even if Ryan was to lose, he could still fight Devin on a huge fight. There's been other fights where I've talked about like Anthony Joshua. He lost the last fight. So did Tyson Fury. But we still want to see them both fight each other.
Absolutely.
So I think Ryan and Devin Haney, no matter if they both lose or if one loses and the other one wins, I think that fight's still going to be big.
Speaking of big fights, yesterday, Ben and Eubank Jr. absolutely went to war, and what was an instant classic fight. What did you think about that matchup?
Exactly. Look, I'm gonna be honest. I was never a fan of neither one of them because I just didn't never follow their careers. I don't even know if I've ever seen them fight, before. But just watching that fight, made me a huge fan of both. Doesn't matter who won and who lost. Both of them, I'm a fan of both. I think they deserve all the respect in the boxing world, and let's just hope we get a rematch because this fight was unbelievable so far, and I don't know if there's going to be another fight that matches that in the rest of the year because it was an unbelievable fight. They both won. They both got the stadium was unbelievable packed. Just can't explain how good I feel for two boxers that went out there, gave it all in front of so many people. I gotta respect that.
Saturday, and last for me, big fight, the face of boxing, Canelo Alvarez versus William Skull. What do you think happens in that matchup?
Look, Canelo should win. I never seen William Skull. I've never seen him. I don't know how he fights, but Canelo's Canelo. Canelo should come up with the win and become undisputed again, and then look for bigger things. Look for bigger fights. He's got a great deal with Turkey, which is what everybody in boxing is looking for right now, and he's got it. He's gonna make a lot of money. So let's wish him the best. I think he'll come up with the win, and then we'll see him in September against Terence Crawford and another big event. That's just what it is right now. He's at the point where he calls the shots. He could do whatever he wants, and he's just putting up big events, just like Mayweather did in the last few years of his career.
Jaime Munguia looking to avenge his KO loss on the same card. What does he have to do to get the victory?
I don't think it'll be easy. I don't think it's going to be easy, but I think he does pull off the win. He's got a new team behind him. Eddie Reynoso is a great trainer, and I think Eddie Reynoso is going to, teach him the things that he needed to do in the previous fight to pull off the win. I think Jaime Munguia pulls off the win, but it won't be easy. It's going to be a very tough fight for him.
Well, there you have it, fight fans. Once again, with two legends, Marcus Hayes with Fight Hub TV, with my guy Robert Garcia, Mr. Garcia. Thank you. We'll let you go smell those flowers from everybody. Appreciate you.